Hello. Thanks a bunch. 3D card I put together yesterday. I thought I'd make one with you today. Very pretty. I'm not going to cut out my dog walking about and sometimes barking in the background, so you may hear him today. Meet Dexter. My dies and metal foils with pretty flowers. I only picked up the other day, or should I say sent to me the other day. Picked them up from Amazon. Cut out my tulips. I couldn't wait to make something with them. And as you've seen, that's my first attempt. Worked so perfect with this background. But today I thought I'd try a different background. Let me have a look and see where I put it. There it is. Already prepared the card, like turned it into card, because I actually buy this as paper. And I turn it into card. And I've got both of these designs, excuse me, from this book. My backgrounds. Let's have a quick flick and throw it. Luxury card making background designs. Oh yes, I've really made a background ready for this one. Let me show you that one too. There you go. There's another one I cut out. Ready, turning into card to make other cards. I don't want to lose track. Another one. Some very pretty designs in this book. I look forward to making so many other cards. Look at these. Make a nice big card with them. They probably look very good with embossing sparkle powder on the, over the top, don't you think? And there's this one. In the background. I've got another book, so I took it from that. For Valentine's Day, if you want to make a geometric card, look at these. For the guys, Father's Day cards, and all your little student cards, teachers. Yes, I think they're great. Right, let's get to it. Get them off track. And back to making our beautiful thanks a bunch hot foil flowers and butterfly cup. I think that would actually quite blend, don't you think? To begin with, we want to create our hot foils. So I've already cut out a piece of shape so it fits my little machine. Put that aside for a sec, because here comes the other piece. Because usually it sits on the card like this. So what I want to show you is to turn it over. And place this over the top. This is how I usually cut them out. So we'll take that down to a straight edge. And now we'll use a knife, exactly a knife, and just cut around. Don't have to be perfect, but you can save a lot of foil doing it like this. It can be quite tricky actually with a pair of scissors, because it's just flimsy, isn't it? You know what I'm talking about. there. So look at that. That's good enough. Because now what we're going to do is that. You need to do it sort of backwards now. I'm going to place that on my card. There's no little bits. I don't want that caught. Done that wrong for a start, and I place it on my card. Position this so it's totally got foil underneath it, and wherever you want it. That's got foil all over it. Now what I'm actually going to do is, excuse me again, use a little bit of tape. Remember, I'm going to use dyes on this, so it's getting cut out. So don't worry too much about that. As you can see, place it in my foiling machine. It's going to take a couple of minutes now to heat up. While that is on, I could be preparing for my flowers, etc. on this piece. Now I'm only going to use one piece of foil for this. Yeah, just for quickness. Just cut this one down a bit. Over. I'm not going to want all that nugget, so I'm just going to cut off a tiny piece more so I can still use my tape. Let's take off that. I always keep my little spares. I've got a little tub and I put all the little bits of spares in it. I'll keep that for if I need it. Generally, little bits that you miss, you can always just go back and give it an extra foiling, can't you? Just make sure there's enough room to get your dyes around them afterward. I find it's best if you can try and get them, each of them, near an edge to the card. When you use your tape, it's actually sticking to a piece of card. As well as the foil. Is it quite that? So that I can turn it over without it all moving. You don't need this much. I'm just going over the top a bit really, but I do not want it moving. Now it's done. I always add a couple of little shimmies over the little top, usually a piece of couple of card, quite a thin card. Now I'll cut them through my cutting machine. That's the side. Let's have a look. Now don't do this at home. You've got these tweezers here. Use them. For some reason I don't feel a heat. Nerve damage, I believe. There you go, look how pretty that is. Now that's ready for cutting and colouring. Look how perfectly foiled that has come out. They're very nice plates. You can make so many different cards with this one design. Now I'm going to take this one off. Remember, use your tweezers. Now I'm going to place this one in. While we wait for that to heat, we could be cutting this. And it's using this. It's only like half. And place that over the top. And use your masking tape. Bit of top there. Don't do it too far to the side because you're going to want these to cut off all the card. And maybe a piece here will do. Yeah. Right, now what I want to do is cut it across for my card. But this is what's ready now. I'm going to quickly take this through my machine and show you these. And just remember, when you use these, not to add too much pressure and too many shimmies. When you run it through your cutting machine, you don't want to break it. It is electrical device too. That's why I use two very thin cards, one slightly thicker than the other. Sometimes I only need the one. Again, use tweezers. Now let's just take that right off. There we go. Ready for me to cut them. Down here. I'm now going to cut these pieces out. And just stick these above, over the top. Place them where you want. A little bit of tape. Just a tiny bit. Just a tiny, tiny bit. Will do. You can actually colour these before you cut them. I'm just doing them all together for you today. Using tape almost guarantees them not moving, doesn't it? Safest way for the cutting. It'll take a minute longer, but it's worth it. you want a good result, it's worth taking that extra second or two using the tape on your dies. Best things come to those who take their time, I think, and patience. Crafting is definitely for the patient person, don't you agree? Very therapeutic. Any art creating is therapeutic, I believe. Let's make sure I put this in place properly. Don't get too chatty. Set. And here they are, just popping out. And we're ready to colour. Look at that. Now, there is a little thing I did with my card. I'll put a little word in. I cut these all out, right around them. Can you see? No white. Might leave it for this one. I'm going to start colouring my pieces now in each flower, but I'd like to colour code it to match my background. I'm not sure whereabouts I'm going to have my background yet. So let me place this over the top. Bring it round. Nice. I use these little eyeshadow applicators. I buy them in bulk, you can buy them really cheap. They're great for this. I'm just going to get colouring now. Start with a big one. I haven't got a yellowy. Now we have all our pieces coloured. Let's cut our background. You might want to place your pieces over the top, just so you know where you're placing them for the colouring. I've already keep your pieces. Now, starting with the back pieces, we're going to start placing, because I think if we want this obviously there, where do you want your flowers? So I'm going to put this one up here. Let's have a look and see how they go. And put this one there. What do you think? Yeah, I think that's how I'm going to do it. So now, if you want 3D, you're going to want double-sided foam. And it depends on how 3D you want them and how much foam you use. So I'm going to put one piece, let's use less, because you don't need that much. I'm going to put one piece there. Cut that in half. Piece on this leaf. I'm going to bring it in slightly more to the twist. That'll hold it. And turn this one over and give it a couple of pieces. Again, don't need to go over the top with your foam. And these are for behind. So, take these pieces off. Just get another couple of pieces on it. Do you want it sturdy enough? Especially if you're sending through the post, you don't want it getting damaged. If you're sending through the post, I'd also add a little piece there, because I'm just making to show you. Oops, what am I doing? Another one, turn it to the side slightly, I think. Just again, so when this one goes over the top. Now this one I want a little bit thicker. Did have some thicker foam. This will do for now. I wouldn't usually actually use this much. You can actually use less. Take this one off. Now what I'm going to do is go over the top of it again. We want this one a little bit more deeper, give it more depth, 3D effect. I've got to add some. Now what I'm going to do is down the sides, not up across the top. You might be able to get deeper, thicker foam, so you don't have to double layer it. You can get almost anything nowadays, so I'm sure you can. I'm just going to place this along the bottom. Doesn't want to go on straight. Not quite to the edge correct. Now, I think I am still going to add a couple of pieces there. She's gone a bit flat against the others. It's finding the space, isn't it? What I'm going to do is quickly double layer these here. And place that in there. Wait. In there. Still gonna need one more in there. So it will actually be over the other flower, but it doesn't matter because it's behind your front layer of flowers. So I'm going to tuck that in just there. There you go. Look how lovely that's looking. What do you think? Share your thoughts in comments, and please subscribe at the same time. Much appreciated. And share your own links. I'd love to see your work too. I'm going to use this lovely little rough edged die to create the background. Now I've cut my sentiment background, I'm gonna stamp. I'm gonna use Hello Spring this time. Just listening to the birds singing outside and the sun starting to warm. A lovely fuzzy feeling it can give you inside, don't you agree? Looking forward to it. A little bit of warm weather. It's supposed to get snow here soon, but I don't think so. I always use the Stays On jet black. There, very nice. And this one I want flat on the back of my card. So I'm just going to get my double-sided sticky tape. I'll have a couple of pieces of that.